Hello friends. The sea was calm and quiet. The day was sunny and the wind was mild. A team of fishermen consisting of Mallory Harrigan, Cliff Russell and Alan Russell decided to take advantage of the weather to hunt Canadian crabs. They went out to sea and cruised among icebergs. The guys were counting on a decent catch, but fate had prepared another surprise for them. They managed to sail 6 kilometers into the open sea, carefully making their way through many ice blocks of the cold sea. In such conditions, sailors should always be attentive to the marine environment and the slightest changes in the weather. Alan Russell occupied the observation tower. On this day he had a responsible role. The man had to watch for any possible dangers. Everything was going smoothly until he spotted an iceberg right ahead. There was something right on top of it, only Alan couldn't see this object. He called his friends, but they also could not understand what they saw on the top of the ice floe. Most often, cold seas are fraught with many surprises. Studying them, you can stumble upon previously unknown creatures. Mallory and Cliff assumed it was a seal. Guys have seen them before while fishing. But Alan did not share their opinion and went down for binoculars while his friends assessed the situation overboard, approaching the iceberg. The fishermen became alert, the sea began to worry, and the boat gradually rocked. They approached the ice floe and realized that they had never seen such a creature before. It didn't look like a seal at all and stood on all fours. The creature turned out to be an Arctic fox. She wanted to get closer to the approaching vessel. The men thought it would be nice to save the defenseless animal that was left on the iceberg. It had to be done before dark. But how did the animal end up there? And how long has the fox been floating on an ice floe in the middle of the sea? These thoughts quickly flashed through the minds of the men. Mallory agreed with Cliff's ideas. The fox went to the ice floe in search of profit, but unfortunately, she broke away. Therefore, the animal was trapped in the middle of the depths of the cold sea. In any case, they didn't have time to think, because it was getting dark outside. The guys came to a consensus: the animal will not survive in such conditions, so you need to save it. They decided to split the iceberg with their vessel. The fishermen acted carefully so as not to scare off the fox. They started ramming the ice floe to close the escape options for the animal. With the help of a fishing net, they immobilized the frightened fox. She desperately tried to pull away until her strength ran out. They lifted the animal on board and immediately threw a dry towel over her. The men wanted to get wet wool to warm the fox. Using their knowledge of maritime affairs, the men were able to turn the boat around without touching the sharp edges of the iceberg. They were watching the animal all the time. One of the guys built a bed of sawdust in the hope that they would absorb moisture and the animal would not freeze. She slept for 5 or 6 hours, and when she woke up, we fed her canned sausages, Mallory said. Back on land, the guys released the animal into its natural habitat. They chose a small clearing near the seaport, where they moored their ship. From afar, they watched the animal quickly disappear into the wilderness. They felt happy because they helped the defenseless fox to return home. They couldn't wait to tell everyone about their adventures and unusual catch.